Hello everyone, I am Seema Gupta from working as Assistant Professor in Ramesh Institute of Vocational and Technical Education. I am going to deliver the lecture on the pathophysiology subject. The code is BP204T. In the previous lecture, we have discussed about hypertension. Now, in this video, we will discuss about the congestive heart failure. Now, coming here to the definition. Definition, what is the congestive heart failure is? See, it is defined as a pathophysiologic state in which the impaired cardiac function is unable to maintain the adequate circulation for metabolic need of the tissue of body. Now, what this definition it means? See, it is defined as a pathophysiologic state, that means some disease state is defined in which there is impaired cardiac function. Impaired cardiac function means the heart is not functioning properly. How it is not functioning properly? It is unable to maintain the adequate circulation for metabolic need of the tissue. That means the heart is not able to pump sufficient blood from in order to supply to the body. So, that what is the congestive heart failure. The condition that occurs as a result of impaired pumping capability of the heart. The heart is not able to pump. Why the heart is not able to pump? Maybe there is some problem in the muscles of the heart. Okay. So, that we will discuss in the etiology, in the causes. Now, the definition is clear to you. The definition means definition of the congestive heart failure, it means that the heart is not functioning properly. It is unable to maintain the adequate circulation and the proper blood supply to the body is restricted. The next is the a little diagram is shown here to show you how the normal and the congestive heart anatomy is. See, in the normal heart, the normal here, these are the normal ventricular chambers, they are normal. Whereas, in the congestive heart, what you see in the diagram, there is thickening of this wall. See, you see the walls, they are thickened. When there is thickening of the ventricular walls are there, this filling capacity it decreases. When the filling capacity of the ventricles it decreases, it is not able to eject out proper blood. Okay. So, when the blood is not able to be eject out to the body, the demand of the body is not sufficiently supplied. So, that you can easily see in this diagram how the normal ventricles they are functioning, normal blood filling is there and the supply through the aorta to whole of the body. Whereas, in the congestive heart failure what has happened, there is not sufficient filling in the ventricles. So, ultimately the supply to the body, the supply of the blood to the body is less and leading to the congestive heart failure. Then coming here to the next slide is the etiology. Etiology, what does this word etiology means? Etiology is the causes, why this congestive heart failure this is happening. Okay. See, congestive heart failure, there are different causes why it is happening. Number one is intrinsic pump failure. Intrinsic pump failure means the pump is not functioning properly. The pump, what is pump? The heart muscles they are not functioning properly. So, why the heart muscles they are not functioning properly? It may be due to the disease called myocarditis. Myocarditis, it is inflammation of the myocardial layer of the heart. So, myocarditis is there when there is inflammation of the myocardial, that is the muscle portion of the heart will not able to contract properly. When the heart will not able to contract properly, what will happen? It will not able to pump the blood, leading to congestive heart failure. The second is the ischemic heart disease. Ischemic heart disease, it means, see what does this, we will discuss in detail this topic. Ischemia is this word, it means less of the oxygen, less supply of the oxygen to the blood vessel, less supply of oxygen to the organs. Why? Because of the deposition of the cholesterol, and ultimately the blood flow decreases, and ultimately the oxygen supplied also decreases. So, that may lead to the congestive heart failure. Then increase workload on the heart. Sometimes due to certain disorders in the heart, the pressure load it increases, increase pressure load, it increases very high due to certain obstruction in the valves of the heart, the pressure load it increases. Then there may be increased volume load also increases sometimes in the heart. Then the third is the impaired filling of the cardiac chamber, that is the proper filling in the cardiac chamber, in the auricles and ventricles, the proper filling of the blood is not there. So, what will happen when the proper filling is not there? The blood will not pass into the aorta and will not supply it into the body. Okay. So, next, the different types of heart failure. The different types of heart failure is, number one is the acute heart failure, and then is the chronic heart failure. Acute heart failure, acute as the term it indicates, it is for a short duration, whereas this chronic, it means it is for longer duration. Okay. Now, why this acute heart failure it is taking place? Acute heart failure is taking place due to certain diseases the patient is suffering from. Disease is myocardial infarction. Now, what is myocardial infarction? The myocardial portion of the heart, that muscle portion of the heart, here there is infarction, that is the clot deposition. When there is a clot deposition, the blood flow to the heart is obstructed. So, it will result into the congestive heart failure, or there may be rupture of the valve may rupture. Okay. Then is the chronic heart failure. Why the chronic heart failure is there? Due to other diseases called myocardial ischemia. Myocardial ischemia, again once the term it is ischemia is less supply of the oxygen where to the myocardial portion of the heart. So, the heart will not able to contract properly. When the heart is not able to contract properly, it will not able to eject out proper blood. Or a patient is suffering from a chronic lung disease, then also the patient may suffer from chronic heart failure. Okay. Next is the pathophysiology. In the pathophysiology, we will deal with the other different types of the heart failure, that is the left side of heart failure, how this left side of heart failure it occurs, and the right side heart failure. Okay. So, the stress to the left heart is basically it leads to left side heart failure. There is a decreased left ventricular output, and hence accumulation of the fluid upstream in the lungs. So, what does this mean that there is decreased left ventricular output and accumulation of the fluid upstream? This see in order to explain this I have to draw the diagram of the heart. See, suppose I am drawing here the rough diagram of the heart. This is the heart. This is the left auricle, left ventricle, right auricle is here, then right ventricle is here. Okay. Now, what happened? I am telling about the left heart failure, the left side we are taking left side heart failure. It means left side in left side heart failure, the left ventricles they are not the left ventricles, they are not contracting properly. Left ventricles, they are not contracting properly, not able to pump out sufficient blood. So, the blood which is accumulating in the left ventricle, where the blood will go when the heart is not pumping out? This blood will go into the left auricle back. Now, the blood will be accumulated in the left auricle, again where the blood will flow from the left auricle? It will through the pulmonary veins, here the pulmonary veins is there, it will go into the lungs. So, what will happen? There is accumulation of the fluid upstream in the lungs. That is why there is accumulation of the fluid upstream in the lungs, and that what it leads to the congestion in the lungs, and hence the term is the congestive heart failure. You understand the concept now? The left side is not functioning properly. Now, what are the causes why this left side heart failure is there? Number one is systemic hypertension. The patient is suffering from hypertension disease, systemic hypertension specifically. Mitral stenosis, the patient is suffering from this disease called mitral stenosis. Mitral valve, you know, mitral valve, what are the mitral valve? Mitral valve are present here, here. This is the bicuspid valve, or it is also known as bicuspid valve, or it is also known as mitral valve. So, mitral valve is this one, this is the mitral valve. Mitral valve stenosis, stenosis it means narrowing, narrowing when the valves, that is the bicuspid valve or the mitral valve which is present between the left auricle and the left ventricle, they narrow. When the valve they narrow, what will happen? There is increase in the blood pressure. Blood pressure increases, and finally what will happen? It will lead to heart failure. Ischemic heart disease is also a very important disease that is responsible for left side heart failure. Ischemic heart disease means less supply of oxygen to the heart due to certain cholesterol deposition or certain other diseases, and this may lead to the left side heart failure. Myocarditis is there. Myocarditis is the itis word, it means inflammation. Inflammation of what? Inflammation of the myocardial layer. Okay. So, myocardial layer inflammation, accordingly it will lead to left side heart failure. Now, clinical manifestation we are discussing here, the left side heart failure. Clinical manifestation means what are the signs and symptoms? The different signs and symptoms are pulmonary congestion. Pulmonary congestion, see I am telling you that when there is here in the pulmonary congestion, what happens? The left ventricle is not able to contract. So, there is upstream flow of fluid into the lungs. So, what will happen? That will lead to pulmonary congestion. The second is edema. Edema is there, why? Because there is accumulation of the fluid. So, edema, what is edema? It is accumulation of the fluid. Okay. This is called edema. Then what other signs and symptoms are there in left side heart failure is dyspnea and orthopnea. Dyspnea, the dyspnea word, it means there is a decrease in the breath, सांस लेने में दिक्कत होती है, ठीक है. ऑर्थोपनिया मतलब while you are lying down, आप लेटे हुए हो तो सांस लेने में दिक्कत होती है. तो these are the manifestations or the signs and symptoms of a patient who are suffering from left side heart failure. Decreased left ventricular output, that patient the left ventricular output, obviously left side heart failure है, तो left ventricles they are not able to contract, so they are not able to pump sufficient blood. Then sodium and water retention, this is one very important factor, and this may lead to hypertension, and ultimately it will cause the increase in the left side heart failure. Last is the muscle weakness and fatigue. Now, here it is explained how this left side heart failure it takes place. See, the patient is suffering from ischemic heart disease. I have told you the patient is suffering from ischemic heart disease, that is deficiency of the oxygen supply to the heart, or myocarditis, that is the inflammation of the myocardial layer. Okay. When these both parameters are there, what will happen? There is decreased cardiac output. This cardiac output it decreases. Cardiac output means amount of the blood that is pumped out in one cardiac cycle in 1 minute. Okay. So, cardiac output it will decrease when the patient is suffering from these diseases. What will happen then? There is a decreased renal perfusion. Perfusion means the flow of the blood. The flow of the blood to the kidney will decreased. Okay. So, decreased renal perfusion is there, and that what this causes? It causes activation of the RAA system. Activation of RAA system means renin. What is this RAA system? It is renin angiotensin activating system. ठीक है. Now, when renin angiotensin activating system is activated, what will happen? It will cause the sodium and water retention. When sodium and water retention are there, ultimately it will lead to pulmonary congestion and edema. So, left side heart failure, what will happen? Due to these diseases, the cardiac output decreases, there is activation of renin angiotensin system, ultimately leading to sodium and water retention and finally causing edema. Now, coming to the next slide is the right side heart failure. Right side heart failure, it occurs when the pressure developed within the myocardium is not able to push blood to the lungs. See, right side heart failure, as you know, here if I am drawing this heart, what will happen? This is the left auricle, left ventricle, right auricle and right ventricle. So, what happened? We are talking about right side heart failure. In right side heart failure, what is happening? This right ventricle is not able to push the blood to the lungs. You know, from right ventricles the deoxygenated blood is pumped into the, from the right ventricles the deoxygenated blood is pumped into the pulmonary, it pumps into the lungs through pulmonary artery. So, this right ventricle is not functioning properly, so leading to right side heart failure. Causes, why this is happening? This is happening because of the left ventricular heart failure. The left ventricles, they are not pumping sufficient blood, it may lead to right side heart failure also. Or a tricuspid valve disease. Tricuspid valve is present here. Here the tricuspid valve is present between the right auricle and the right ventricle. So, these are the tricuspid valve which are present. When there is a tricuspid valve disease, the blood is not able to flow from the right auricle to the right ventricle. So, what will happen? This will lead to ultimately right side heart failure. Or a patient is suffering from any myocardial disease. Okay. Myocardial inflammation is there, though. So, what will happen? The heart pumping way affected. Now, this is the flow chart, it views what happens when there is right side heart failure. See, the left side heart failure may ultimately lead to right side heart failure. So, left side heart failure mein what is happened? There is residual blood in the left ventricle. The blood in the left ventricle is accumulated because left heart is not functioning properly. Okay. So, there is residual blood is accumulated in the left ventricles. So, what will happen? There is increased arterial pressure and volume. the volume, the arterial pressure and the volume, it increases, leading to increase in the pressure in the pulmonary veins. Okay, pulmonary veins, the pressure increases. Pulmonary arterial hypertension, finally it will lead to pulmonary arterial hypertension, causing increase in the right ventricular pressure, finally systemic venous congestion and pulmonary edema. See, in order to explain you the right side heart failure, I have to draw a diagram. Like suppose this is the heart and this is the left auricle, left ventricle, right auricle and right ventricle. Now, what happens here? The right side heart failure we are talking, that means this right ventricle is not able to pump blood to the lungs. The deoxygenated blood is present here, it is not able to pump. So, this excess of the blood, it will move in the right auricle and this blood, it is finally through here inferior and superior vena cava, it will be finally backflow, it will be accumulated and leading to systemic venous congestion and peripheral edema, that is the accumulation of the fluid in the peripheral organs. In the legs there is accumulation of the fluid. So, the patient who are suffering from right side heart failure, उनके पैरों में पेन होता है, ठीक है। तो पैरों में क्या होता है कि दर्द होता है, क्यों होता है कि राइट साइड फंक्शन नहीं कर रही है प्रॉपरली, तो देयर इज एक्यूमुलेशन ऑफ द फ्लूइड इन द राइट पेरिफेरी. Now, backward and forward heart failure, backward and forward heart failure. Backward heart failure, what is backward heart failure? Either of the ventricles, they fail to eject blood normally. So, what happen? It will result into increase in the volume and pressure in the atrium and which is transmitted backward. This I have already explained you with the help of diagram. Forward heart failure, it occurs when the heart is not pumping out enough blood needed by the body. So, forward heart failure, this is called. Okay. Now, compensatory mechanism. What are the different compensatory mechanism that needs to occur? That means when there is a heart failure, what all happens? So, number one is the cardiac hypertrophy. Cardiac hypertrophy means when the heart is not functioning properly, the cell size of the heart, it increases. So, this is called hypertrophy. Why? It is mainly due to stretching of the myocardial fiber in response to stress, which induces the cell to increase in the length. The stress is that the heart is not functioning properly. Okay. Then we have left ventricular hypertrophy and right ventricular hypertrophy. The left ventricular hypertrophy, why is there? The different causes of left ventricular hypertrophy: systemic hypertension, increase in the blood pressure; aortic stenosis, narrowing of the aorta; mitral insufficiency means the mitral valve, the bicuspid valve present between left auricle and left ventricle, they are not working properly; or any coronary artery disease. Coronary artery is the artery which is supplying blood to the heart itself, that is not functioning properly. The left side heart failure is there. Then right side heart, right ventricular hypertrophy is there. The increase in the cell of the right ventricles are there. What are the causes? Pulmonary artery hypertension, hypertension of the pulmonary artery, or tricuspid insufficiency, the tricuspid valve which is present between the right auricle and the right ventricle, they are not functioning properly, or there is a chronic lung disease. Other compensatory mechanism is include cardiac dilatation. Cardiac dilatation is the stress leading to accumulation of the excessive volume of the blood in the chamber of the heart, and that leads to increase in the length of myocardial fiber. So, cardiac dilation is also a compensatory mechanism. The causes may be some valve disease, valve they are not functioning properly, or myocarditis, inflammation of the myocardial layer, hypertension or high cardiac output. Now, the treatment, how you will treat it? Basic lifestyle changes, you have to decrease the sodium intake, exercise, then weight reduction and avoiding excessive fluid, because already there is accumulation of the fluid in the there is edema, there is systemic congestion. So, you have to avoid alcohol and smoking also. Then the pharmacological therapy, that means what all drugs we have to give for the treatment of this congestive heart failure. So, you have to give digitalis. Digitalis, it is obtained from a natural plant, and the drug basic active constituent is digoxin. Digoxin, what is caused? It is cardiac glycoside, it decreases the heart rate, because it increases the heart rate. So, digitalis we have to give, okay. Then ACE inhibitors, angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitors we have to give. Then diuretics we have to give, diuretics that which increases the flow of the urine. Beta blockers we have to give, beta blockers again because the heart rate it maintain, it causes decrease in the heart rate. So, beta blockers we have to give, and then finally the calcium channel blockers. So, this is the pharmacological therapy that we have to give for the treatment of congestive heart failure. So, that is all for the lecture today on this congestive heart failure. In the next class, we will deal with the next topic of the heart disease. That is all for today's. Have a nice day.